Today's episode of the Just Keep Swimming podcast is brought to you by Audible. Audible is an online audiobook and podcast service offering over 10,000 books and the ability to listen to your favorite podcasts, including the Just Keep Swimming podcast. I personally use Audible all the time and suggest you take a listen to Intentional Living by John C. Maxwell. In this book, Mr. Maxwell shares his story on how he was able to live a noble and purposeful life and gives you tips and tricks so you can do the same. So please start your 30-day free trial now at www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast, all lowercase. Again, that is www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast. And if you have any more questions or concerns for the Just Keep Swimming podcast, you're always welcome to reach out to us on Facebook or at Instagram at Just Keep Swimming _podcast, or you can email us at jkspodcast702@gmail.com. And with that out the way, let's dive into it. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Just Keep Swimming podcast. This is your friend, your boy, your host, Mr. Adrian Jackson, and we back at it again with another great episode for you. And you already know who's with me. It's the man, the myth, the legend. It's Mr. Wow. There we go. Dramatic. Yeah. I love it. How you feeling today, bro? Work was work, but I'm doing good, yo. Right. No, it feels good to be back recording, but not be on the camera.
That part,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm feeling all nice and busted now, nice and relaxed again, so I'm loving it, man.
That, and I mean, in the comfort of your home, too.
Yeah, the comfort of your home. So, yes, I'm loving it. We got to keep chasing this feeling, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yes, but ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for joining us again. You already know we have another great episode coming for you guys, and we have another very special guest with us today. This guest right here is actually somebody I've known for a long time, and it's kind of ironic how we reconnected because it happened through a quote-unquote tragedy? Not a tragedy, inconvenience.
What do you mean?
Okay, let's say it was an accident. Fuck, we met through a car accident, bro. I ain't seen this man in so many years, and then when I got in a car accident, it turns out that he's my lawyer now. So, bring it to the microphone. We're gonna bring on Mr. Humberto. Humberto, how we doing, brother?
And I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Doing good, man. Good to see you again, bro. It's been such a long time.
I know, man. I haven't seen you, since...
I think that's the last month since a high school graduation?
High school graduation.
So we went to, you had the party, and then went to go hoop at the basketball court.
Yep, and I was like, hey, man, I need you on my team.
And I was telling you, I was like, I was young, but I was athletic, so I was good. And it was like, okay, cool, we can make it happen.
Was that all on the same day, too?
All the same day? Yeah, it was one long ass day.
For some reason, I was thinking it was like y'all was drinking and shit, but like y'all just graduated high school.
Yeah.
So never mind.
Humberto graduated because Humberto was up there with T's max age. Mm-hmm. And then I was probably like my freshman year in high school or something.
I think you might have been, freshman, no later than sophomore.
No later than sophomore. But yeah, he went over there and my dad was like, yeah, man, Mike, Humberto's graduate, let's go. I'm like, I ain't seen Humberto in so long, let's go. Yes. And then next thing I know, we on the basketball court, and then he bring girls over, and I'm like, oh man, I feel like to be a grown man, huh? I can't wait to get this level. Yes, but Humberto, bro, I was gonna say thank you for coming and joining us today. We appreciate it so much, bro.
Oh man, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So today I kind of want to discuss, learn about yourself, learn about who you are, and then learn a little bit more about law. Okay. Because I kind of feel that, me personally, I really don't know much about law. Okay. Like me calling you for being my attorney and everything, that was really the most I've been learning right now. You've been teaching me so much recently, definitely going through the car accident, going through this case, saying the correct things to the doctors and stuff like that. Yeah. So I kind of just want to learn a little bit more about it. And my first question is are you actually my lawyer, or are you just my caseworker, or how does that work?
What's the difference?
Yeah,
Man, I'm not your attorney yet, man. I'm not an attorney yet, but I'm a case manager, though.
Case manager.
Yes, and so the difference between a case manager and a lawyer is case managers cannot negotiate settlements, anything like that. I can't give legal advice. The attorney can only give that. But what I do though is I make sure you go to treatment. I stay on top of your medical bills, make sure everything's in order. I call the doctors. I negotiate, like lien reductions, things like that.
Okay.
But just basically, I cannot negotiate and give people like legal advice.
Okay, so you're just like the representative for the lawyer.
Yes, I'm like the go-between.
The go-between.
Yes.
Because he has a lot of clients to
Yeah, he
deal
has a
with,
lot of-
stuff like that. So
exactly.
you're just making and filtering out for him.
Yes, exactly.
That's pretty dope.
So it's kind of like, because, I work with a lot of court block accounts at my bank.
Yes.
So are you the person that technically like kind of contacts me or the bank to see like, hey, can you put this in order for like a block or something like that?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, I do the contacting, I do all that, and then, that's basically what I do. I just do all the go-between stuff that the attorney doesn't do.
Okay.
Got you. So then, when does the attorney actually like step in and take over what you've been doing? Like, how does that work?
Okay, so basically when the attorney steps in is when it comes to settlement demand time. So I will request all the medical and billing records, then the attorney will review all those medical and billing records, and he'll put together a settlement demand to make sure your case looks very strong to the insurance company, so that way we can get our clients the maximum amount of money. So that's when the attorney steps in, and then he steps in as well when we send off the settlement demands, and then when there's negotiating time. Sometimes the insurance companies, they'll give us a call at the deadline, and they'll say, you know what, we offer this such and such money, but then the attorney like, no, you know what, we need more, because hey, my client, he broke his hand or this or that, so he kind of negotiates and just tries to get the best possible settlement for his clients.
Interesting. So like I say, you're the one doing the day-to-day work,
Yes.
but then when it's time for the big stuff to happen, the attorney steps in and shows his face and like,
Exactly.
this is what I'm fighting for.
Exactly.
But everything Humberto did, though, I do verify and approve of it.
Yes.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I like it. So how'd you get into this? Like, what made you want to get into something like this?
Honestly, you know what? It is crazy because so I used to date the attorney's sister. And so I used to date the attorney's sister, but I've been knowing the attorney Stephen Nuobe. Anybody get in a car accident, go to the Nuobe Law Group.
Link will be in the bio.
So I've been knowing him since high school actually. I was dating his sister, and so I was in between jobs, and she was like, hey, my brother's looking for a case manager. Like, you have experience with customers, because I used to work at Sprint as a call center. I used to work at the call center. Mm-hmm. So then I was just like, man, you know what? Like, let me try this. And so thank God I did, and it's been a blessing ever since.
Wow.
It's been a blessing, yeah, because it was actually just me. When I started, it was just me, him, and his aunt.
Oh, wow.
So it was 3 people.
Oh wow! So you grew with this company?
Yep. I grew with this company. Yes, so
That's
it's
beautiful.
been amazing to see how far it's grown since I started.
And then knowing that you helped it come along this way as well.
Yes, it's been a blessing.
I was gonna say, how many years so far?
You know what? It's going to be 6 years coming on next March. I believe I started March 9th. So yep, be 6 years next March 9th.
That's really dope, bro. Congrats on that one, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, like I ain't gonna lie, I have not had a position for 6 years yet.
Man, this is my first one.
You're doing good.
It was funny too, because I was on Instagram and I saw one of my old friends. She moved to Florida, but she was like, "Oh, congratulations! I just made 2 years at my job. This is the longest I've been at my job." And it made me think, I'm like, man, a year and a half is like the longest I've been at my job so far. Yeah. So it's an interesting feeling. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's a good feeling though when it feels like you found your niche.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, this is the first, and like what you say, like you feel, you find your niche, because every other job I worked, it was just kind of like, I'm just here until I find something better. Mm-hmm. And now with this job, like, I feel just at peace. Like, I feel like, okay, like, man, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I'm meant to do. Mm-hmm. So it's a really good feeling.
Beautiful. I love it, bro. So then, my next question for you was, so going from call center to law, like, was that like a big different transition? Because it sounds so opposite. So I'm wondering, like, how did that transition?
Yeah, you know what? It was a little bit of a transition. Mostly the same thing, just communication, talking with customers, things like that. So I had that background already, so I was kind of already like fluent or advanced in that department as far as with communication. Mm. But the thing that really kind of was very hard for me was just learning the lingo, the jargon of being in law, and also just being confident in what I say, because like it's just something new, and it's just like, just me personally, when I don't know something, I can come off as not confident, and so the attorney would always kind of coach me up. He's like, even though you may not know 100%, but just sound confident, because if you don't sound confident, then they're not going to be confident in you.
Exactly.
And so so that was just the hardest transition, was just learning everything with property damage, just certain kind of laws and everything that I have to look for.
And I think that right there was a beautiful statement, because all the time I talk to you, I know it's been like probably like twice where it's like, you know what, let me ask about that. But the way you say let me ask about that was such a confident manner that it didn't make it seem like, oh shit, like, you know, it was like, oh yeah, please ask. I want to know what your answer is, because everything else you've been saying is solid. So I can hear the confidence, bro. I love it.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it, man. I try.
So for the New Way log, how I say that?
New Wobe.
Yes. New Wobe. I'm gonna get that right about the episode. So, do you guys just primarily focus on car accident injury, or is it like, if I have a beef with Donovan, I can take him to court through you guys, or how does that work?
So we work strictly with personal injury. So we do car accidents, slip and falls, and mostly just car accidents, slip and falls, dog bites, things like just personal injury.
Okay, so not workman's comp though.
No workman's comp. But if you do call us, the attorney will try to reach out to other attorneys and refer you over to another attorney, like a workman's comp attorney, or somebody that he trusts that he can refer you over to. Or if we don't know, we'll just refer you to the state bar. And if you call the state bar, then they can always refer you over to an attorney that fits your needs.
Oh wow,
that's great rapport.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, you guys have like a little community then of attorneys y'all can bounce around with.
Oh, exactly, man. The one thing I learned is that the law community is very small. So
really?
yes, so and the crazy thing is, the attorney has shown me one time, like they have this, like, I don't know if it's like a portal or some sort of like kind of like communication system, but like it's all lawyers on there, and if you have a question, you can just type it in, and then the lawyer has the time, they can answer whatever question. So it's just all lawyers on there. So and they just be asking each other questions, and and then if you can answer, then they'll answer it for you.
Oh wow, so it's like a Reddit for lawyers.
Exactly.
That's dope, bro.
I was gonna say, it sounds similar to what my therapist was saying, because I'm actually going to school to be a psychological therapist.
Okay, cool.
But then, like, once you get your cert and everything, then if you're official, you can join like this community of other therapists in like your region.
Yes.
And let's say I specialize in addiction and like oppression, stuff like that, but somebody has something like gender dysphoria or something like that. Well, you can go in there and ask like, hey, I don't do this, but can somebody help out this client that's looking for that? And it's like, oh, you can refer them over there.
Yes.
And you get referrals like that. Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm finding it deep because, on the other end of it, you'd think that lawyers didn't like each other because the way they go to the court and they talk trash about each other or whatever it is, that's not a good lawyer. You'd think that, they're from TV shows, you wouldn't think they're all linked together, but it sounds like y'all would go to a courtroom, fight two different cases, but then go to dinner at the same time afterwards and hang out.
Okay, well, to kind of build off of that, then I was going to say, is there really any animosity between like the defendant and then, or the defense attorney and then the prosecuting attorney?
You know what? Just from my personal experience, honestly, no, I don't. I haven't seen anything like that. Like
really?
to where they just completely don't like each other. But I haven't seen too much. So I mean, my opinion, But just from my opinion, no, I haven't seen it at all. But the attorneys, a lot of them are friends, and they give each other advice, pointers. I mean, there is competition because you want to get the clients and help the clients out. But at the end of the day, they just want to help people and help people get what they deserve when they get hurt or like in car accidents. And I mean, because the biggest thing is just the inconvenience that these car accidents causes to people. And but at the end of the day, just want to help.
That's very interesting. So it's kind of like football, low key, as in, we're going against each other. Yeah, we're not friends. We're going against. But after that, the two head coaches shake hands at the end of the game.
Exactly.
9 to 10 times, they're probably going to the same coaches meet on Tuesday to talk about something.
Exactly. And I think what it is because they, they respect what each other does because they know how hard of a job it is. So they have that mutual respect for each other. No matter if they may be enemies or they may be, opponents, but they just have that respect for each other.
Right.
They know, like, man, being in laws, man, it's a daily grind.
It's a daily grind, bro. It's a daily grind. I can only imagine it. So, like, what is your daily grind? Like, what's a normal day?
All right, so a normal day for me, so I have all my cases organized for certain cases each day. And so Monday, I have my list of cases. So I'll go through and for each day I'll have on my calendar the most important tasks that I absolutely need to get done. So I'll get those done first early in the morning.
Priority.
And then, I'll prioritize my cases. And then after that, then I'll just kind of go through each person's case that I work on that day, and I'll see like tasks that I need to do, and then I'll just do those tasks. So I'm kind of real organized with my tasks, so that way I kind of know exactly what I need to do each day. But that's just a daily, and then I just, I take phone calls from insurance adjusters. I reach out to clients, and I get a lot of calls from clients just asking me, especially when it comes to property damage claims. I get the most questions with property damage because it's just like people, they don't want to be without a car. So yeah, that's just the main thing. But I just answer phone calls and just do my tasks that need to be done for that day.
Very interesting. I love it. So then, so one of my questions is this. Now, I just want to learn now more about you in general now. So, graduating high school, did you see yourself going into law?
No, not at all. Not at all, man. Graduating high school, man. Shoot, I was probably like, a majority of kids, man. I see myself going to the NFL. That was like what I wanted to do. But, that dream didn't happen. And then I was like, man, I'll try to be an engineer. But then, that didn't happen. I was always good at math and science in school. So
same.
I was like, man, I probably try to be an engineer. But, that just didn't work out. And, but man, but I'm happy I found law though. Yes, and I know you were saying, Donovan, that you were in school now. I wanted to ask, what school do you go to?
Oh, I'm doing online, just because, I got the podcast, I got a full-time job, I still like to socialize with my friends and stuff.
Okay.
So I go to University of Phoenix.
University of Phoenix,
And it's cool with them because you get, you take one class every 5 weeks.
Okay.
And then like during like winter break or summer, you get like 2 weeks off and then you go right back into it.
Okay.
So, and usually kind of, so far it follows the same formula. I get I have to do a discussion, like an initial discussion post on Thursday.
Okay.
Then I have the assignment for the week, and then I have to do my 2 replies and that assignment by that Monday, and then it goes again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, because I just graduated from UNLV in 2023 with my degree in psychology.
Oh,
nice. Yeah, so I graduated, UNLV, so that was an experience. I mean, honestly, I did not want to walk because me being an older graduate, I'm just like, man, I'm not trying to walk. But my mom, though, I honestly just walked for my family because it was more for a joy for them to see me walking. So yes, it was like my mom graduated. Yeah. Because I just walked for her, and it was amazing though, just to see how happy she was that I graduated.
And you know what, bro? I fully agree with you. So I probably never told you this, but you better hear it now. So I went to UNR. Everybody know I told you I graduated in 2012. And a lot of times I went for marketing, but mainly the reason I went was to show my family that it's possible that we can graduate college. You know what I'm saying? Somebody from here can do it. But my graduation was extra special for 2 things. One, that was the first time in a very long time my dad and my mom's side were in the same vicinity at the same time. They don't never have issues, but they're just never together. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like if it's a football game, they're on this side of the field, they're on that side of the field. Yes. This is the first time they're in the same place. We all have buffet together. I'm eating with both my families at one time. And it was like crazy. And then the second thing, this is deep. This is my first time seeing my dad wear a blazer.
Really?
I've never seen my father wear a blazer my whole entire life. I know he had a blazer in his closet, bro. I've been through his closet. I got all his shirt and ties and slacks. Yeah. I'm wearing his Jordans. I didn't know my man owned a blazer. And graduation, this man come up in a blazer. I'm like, I did something to make this man proud. I gotta look good for this right here. So I can truly understand that feeling of like, I'm doing it for myself, but at the same time, I'm doing it for others. I'm doing it for my family. I'm doing it for people bigger than me.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yes, like you said, show people, hey man, it can be done. And as long as you, like my mom used to always tell me, if you put your mind to something, you can do it. As long as you put your mind to it. So yeah,
I think that's one of the biggest older generation advice that I've ever, because grandma used to always say it, you can do anything you put your mind to.
Exactly. Yes.
Shoot, hearing y'all story, I can't wait until I walk for my bachelor's and then, eventually get my master's so I can get that cert, because And you know, I don't know if I'm gonna go for my doctors yet, but
man,
hey,
I want to go with my doctor, just be called Dr. Jackson.
That part. Man, definitely. You definitely should if you get the chance. Definitely get that doctor.
Yeah, that doctor. I want to correct everybody after that.
Oh, exactly.
Mr.
Nope.
Doctor,
it's
motherfucker.
Doctor, exactly. I worked hard for this. It's Doctor.
You don't call me doctor. I love it, man.
Yes.
I was gonna say, so what was your experience like going through the UNLV program for your psychology degree?
Definitely at the age you went back to it at.
Yes. You know what? The experience was actually good. Honestly, because I work full time, I did most of my classes online, but I did want to get that college experience of actually going to class. So I did go to class one day out this, or I'm sorry, I had one in-person class every semester, and I would either go on Tuesdays and Thursdays or Mondays and Wednesdays, and I would go to class after work. So it was a cool experience, but you know, I would always notice that I'd be one of the oldest people in the class, and so, you know, I'd be a little self-conscious, but at the end of the day, I would always kind of, you know, think in my mind like, hey, you know what, you're trying to better yourself, so there's nothing wrong with that. And you know, and I would see, then I had another class a semester later, and there was somebody in there, and the person was like 60-something years old, I think. And so I'm just like, man, it's never too late to go back. It's never too late to get educated.
There's also one of the things I noticed up in Reno, because I think my friend group actually had one of their friends, or like two people that were like at least in their 40s, 50s, and you know, just chilling and kicking it with us and blah, blah, blah. But like, yo, they're just out here trying to get their education and do what they want to do, you know?
Yes.
And I feel like there's like a different power when you decide,
want it.
when you want it. Yeah.
Yes. No, and that's what I was about to agree with, because it's like you said, you were the oldest, but you made the conscious decision of saying, I need to go back to school to get my education, compared to me at 18, high school done, straight to college.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This is what I'm supposed to do, so I'm going to be here, I'm going to do it, because this is what I'm supposed to do. But I wish I did have that mindset of, I knew exactly what I want to go for, and this is where I'm going. That's why I admire you going back, Donovan, because you went, and you did the same route I did, but you was like, no, this ain't for me, but now that you know what you want, I know it's for me now because I want something out of it.
And that keeps that motivation and discipline up too.
And it makes it worth it. It makes the sacrifice worth it. Like, it's like it's kind of like I think about football a lot, and it's like, shit, what if you played, you know, you did 2-a-days for 3 straight weeks, and then there were no games to play? You'd be like, what the fuck are we doing this for?
Exactly. What are we doing? Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, nah, now you know why you're doing it. So,
and it's funny on like the psychological aspect of it too, because I'm being like self-cognizant of it. Mm-hmm. But like, there's sometimes when I get home and I'm like, man, I gotta do this homework. This is the last day. It's due. And I'm like, I could feel it in my soul. I'm like, man, I'm back in my high school days where I just don't fucking want to do the work. And I'm like, but I'm like, yo, I'll lollygag a little bit, but like at a certain point, hey, put the fucking phone down, no distractions, just let's bust this shit out real quick. It's not that bad.
Yes.
And then, you know, it's gratifying too when, you know, especially with the AI shit now, there's hella like notifications, hey, you know, you have to source your AI if you're gonna use this shit.
Wait, sorry. They got y'all sourcing AI now?
That's what they say.
And your references.
I don't know how to do it. They teach you how to do it, but I'm like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna put my soul into this shit, because like I decided to go back. I'm gonna put my thoughts, my brain, my soul into this work. So let me just do what I need to do.
Yes, man.
And that, I don't know, after finishing that assignment and closing up, and I still got some hours to play some games or some shit like that, like I deserve this.
Exactly. Nah, one thing I remember every single time, you know, that I'm kind of like, man, I'm procrastinating on this assignment, and I'll never forget back in high school, my chemistry teacher had a quote, and it was like just a quote I remember, and it's like, the hardest thing to do is start. Once you start, then it's good. You're good after that. But the hardest thing to do is just start. Is just put everything down and start. But that's always what I would remember, like that quote, when I would be like procrastinating on certain things, certain assignments.
Yeah, because that happened to me last night too. Because like I got home, I was like, all right, I need to take a bath. I need to relax, and then, you know, I want to get some food. I'm hungry as hell, and I booted up my computer as soon as I got home, and I sat down, just like, man, this discussion post is easy. I just don't feel like doing it. And I'm just sitting there, and I feel my hands just move up to the keyboard and start typing, and then boom. Next thing I know, I'm done in like 20 minutes. And I'm like, cool, all right, now I got nothing else to worry about. I don't got to worry about doing the podcast and then rushing home to do it.
Yes.
I got it done early.
Yep.
Yep. No, and that was one thing I learned, 'cause that was my thing. Procrastination killed me.
Yes.
You know, I waited until many last nights to write a 4-page essay and shit. And you know, I don't know how I did this. So, I love it, man. That's deep.
Man, yes, man. One thing that I used to do, like that was just different from when I was younger. Because when I was younger, I would, like you said, I would procrastinate. I would wait to do like a 10-page paper. I would wait till the last day to do it. But now when I went to school, being older, what I would do is to make my days a lot easier and make the assignment a lot easier. I would say, okay, if I got a 5-page paper to do, you know what? I'm gonna do 1 page a day for 5 days, so that way I can just break things down to where like I don't gotta spend all night doing it. And so that's how I would kind of approach my assignments. Would be like, you know what? I would have everything scheduled out. Yeah. And I think me working in law and me having working my tasks and being organized that way helped me in school. It transferred over to school. So I think
Now I feel like I was just thinking about this on the way over. Like, this job was the thing that really helped me kick my ass into gear to prepare myself for school. Because same thing with me. I have like a whole bunch of case for accounts I gotta build and stuff like that. That's what I do. I build accounts and do account maintenance. Okay, well let me at least ask this. I may not get it done because I don't have what I need, but at least I initiated that shit first. And now to transfer to school, let me at least look at the assignment and see what I gotta do. So it's like now I can gauge how much I can procrastinate, right? But then at least, I think a couple weeks ago, I had to do it was like a matrix or something like that, and I had to look on these virtual museums. And I was like, okay, well, let me type out all the stuff, or let me get my sources in order, stop for the night, and then I can come back and I can just type up my explanations, and then boom, half the work gone, and then half the work finished by a few days.
It's so funny. So I learned that my senior year, my last fucking year of school, like last semester. College. Yeah. So I started to, what's the assignment? Let me start finding my sources. That's when Google started doing the multiple tabs. So I started saving all my tabs, my sources, my tabs. The next day, let me do a bullet point of what I want to talk about. Point 1, sub. Point 2, sub. Point 3, conclusion. Okay, let me write on bullet point now to paragraphs, and then next time my paper's done. But it's like, it took me so long to figure that out. Yeah. Like, it took me, my frat brother, he still laughs at me because it was plenty of days. He wakes up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to a class, and I'm still here. He's like, you go to bed? I'm like, nah, bro. You know what I'm saying? What's grind don't stop, work don't stop. I gotta do it. Man. So I love it. So then now that you graduate, what's your next step though? What's going on?
Okay, so my next step is I took the LSAT on February 10th. So I'm just waiting to get my score back. Once I get my score back, I'll see if I got the score that I needed to get. Okay. But I'm gonna be applying to law school.
Oh, dope.
Yes, I definitely want to go the lawyer route. Definitely from working as a case manager, so I definitely want to go to the next step, which is becoming an attorney. But so once I apply to law schools, I'm going to apply to UNLV. I'm going to apply to Syracuse. Also, the school called Mitchell and Hamlin. It's in Minnesota. Okay. And I'm going to apply to Hawaii as well too. Hell yeah. And most of these programs are online. They're online law school programs, to where you do majority of it online, but then for your in-person kind of like trial type classes, you have to go there for a week out of the whole semester. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah. Yes, because I want to be able to keep my job and go to school at the same time. Right. But the only one that's not a online law school is UNLV. But I could just go there. If I do end up going there, I can just go there right after work.
You don't have to relocate.
Yes, exactly. Like that, So because that's the reason why I picked online classes or to online law schools, because I just do not want to relocate. Like I love my job. I want to stay with this company, and so yes, that's a major factor, is being able to keep my job.
Right. I was gonna say, like a little week vacation, a paid vacation in Hawaii to learn something. That sounds great to me.
Definitely. Yes, most definitely. So I'm just looking forward to just getting this process over with, and just knowing like, okay, what law school am I going to, and just starting the process, and just jumping over this hurdle.
Right. Do you want to be the same type of lawyer? Like, do you want to do injury case management, or is there like another route you would like to go?
That is a really good question. Honestly, like, honestly, I don't know right now until I get to law school. There may be something that I do and I'm like, you know what, man, I want to do this now. But just speaking in terms right now, I would just follow in the same footsteps I'm doing right now, is doing personal injury, since I know so much about it. But I definitely, if something else, interests me, I'll definitely do it. And you know what, I was kind of thinking, like, 'cause all the TV shows, like the court shows, like, man, it would be cool to be a criminal defense attorney, just to, kind of go to court and do that type of stuff. But but I'll see though. But
I was gonna say, like, doing criminal defense, like, you already got your psychology degree, like that goes kind of just in line with it.
Exactly.
And dude, I'm kind of interested too, because Mariah got accepted into Canyon Springs, I think.
Oh, word. They have a court school, or not court school.
Forensics.
Yeah.
Forensics, yeah.
Forensics? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was like, and then I think mom just brought up something like, once you get your degree, like, you two can kind of be hand in hand, like, you could, like, analyze the psychology, and I've been watching, what's it called? Those interrogations on YouTube of crimes and shit like that, and it's interesting as fuck as they break it down on like what they're looking for and what possibly could that mean in accordance to like what's going on in the case.
Wow.
And I don't know, it's just hella interesting to me.
Man, most definitely, man. It's like solving a puzzle, like so. But interesting.
I think that's perfect. So look, that you actually just led to my next question. So I'm gonna get a little deeper now. So and I call this episode, this area kind of the think tank. So we kind of really gonna pick your brain. So, being that you've been in law for 6 years now, what are some things that you feel we should know that we don't apply like normally? I remember earlier you were talking about like insurance that we should get. But I'm like, what else do you have that we should possibly know as civilians, but we don't know or practice because we don't know the law that well?
Okay, so honestly, I would tell everyone, if they can, to get the uninsured, underinsured motorist coverage. I know it's a little bit extra, but that coverage really does save a lot of people, because just from working in the law firm, we've been noticing that more and more people have been driving out there and they're not insured, and you get injured, and if they don't have any coverage and you don't have that underinsured motorist coverage, you can't get compensated for your injuries. And another thing that I would tell people to get is gap coverage. When you buy a new car, please get gap coverage, because if your car's a total loss, you could be upside down your car to where you owe more than what your car's worth.
Right.
And guess what? You got to pay for that. They, most people think, when I get in a car accident, the at-fault driver's insurance has to pay for everything. Like, no, they only pay to whatever their limit is, their policy limit.
Right.
After that, it's all up to you. And so, you definitely want to make sure you get, coverages to protect yourself.
I was gonna say, does that also apply to used cars, or is that applying to the cars you get off the lot?
That's applying to cars you get off the lot.
Okay.
Applying to cars that you buy off the lot, brand new cars. You get that gap coverage.
Gotcha.
Definitely.
So then I was gonna say, So and I think that was something you really taught me recently. It doesn't matter if the person's covered or not. It goes based off their limit.
Exactly.
So it's like they have a small limit, and you're assuming they're gonna pay all this money out to you. And I think that's like the facade we get from TV, I'm guessing.
Yes. Oh no, most definitely, because people, they see TV, they see these $1 million, settlements, things like that. But no, most people, they have the minimum policy limits. And one thing too that a lot of people don't understand is that when somebody says, I got $1 million settlement, that person actually is not getting $1 million to them. It's like you got to pay attorney fees, you got to pay the medical bills. So it's like, you got $1 million settlement, but it's just like you don't actually get $1 million. Like, but a lot of people don't understand that when we tell them. Some people like, hey, we got you a $50K settlement. We have to explain to them, okay, we got your $50K settlement. Now we have to, pay attorney's fees. We have to get your medical bills down, and then whatever's left over, then that's what you get. But the good thing about the attorney that I work for is that he never takes more than his clients at the end of the case. And that's one thing that he does guarantee, because, he feels like, hey man, these people are the ones that got in a car accident. I'm just trying to help them out. So what I look like taking more than them at the end of the case.
Right.
But yes.
Have you guys Sorry, cut you off.
No, I was just gonna say like it's crazy because it goes along with the court docs that I get for work for the minor comps.
Yes.
It's like, you'll see the breakdown. I have to read it because that's how much we'll put in that blocked account.
Yes.
But it's like, you got the attorney fees, you got the health fees, and then you got other miscellaneous fees sometimes. Yes. And then I have to highlight, okay, this is what's going in the blocked account. Put that in CD. You're good.
Yes.
Yeah. It's crazy that
they think they're getting a lot more. And
yes, because there's I don't know if it's different with injury, but I guess with the minor comps, sometimes like they'll get a fat ass settlement and the attorney fees aren't that much, and when the medical fees, like they may be a lot, but then they still get a gang of money, depending on how bad it is.
Yeah, depending. Most definitely. Yeah, there's certain situations to where like, man, people can, end up recouping, 50%, maybe more from the settlement, just depending on, the type of medical care they got. Honestly, how people can get more money from their cases is going to the hospital after the car accident, especially if you have insurance. So going to the hospital, because that definitely helps build up your case. So just just that medical treatment. And the one good thing too about the attorney that I work for is that we send to providers that we work with all the time. So at the end of the case, we get all the medical bills reduced. So that way the client gets more money put in their pocket.
Right.
So, yes.
But then at the same time, providers know that he gonna keep sending them to me.
Exactly. So it's a business. Yep, I'm gonna keep. Yep, that's the providers. When we ask for, hey, you know what? Can we get 50% off, or can we get 45? Most of them are gonna give us what we ask for because, just like you said, they want us to send them more business. Because it's like, okay, I know this provider's gonna give me, what I asked for on lien reduction. So man, I'm gonna send my next 5 clients to him because I know that hey, he's gonna look after me. And then on those cases to where it's like the client recoups a lot of money, then we're gonna take care of them and only ask for maybe like 20% off or 30% off. So the attorney, he really does try to look out for his clients, and he also try to look out for his medical providers as well too.
Beautiful symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, beautiful. Scratch my back, scratch your back to the fullest.
Yeah.
And that's one thing too, like we joke about is like, man, just gaining weight at the law firm because man, all these medical providers, they always send us candy, food, yes, man. I'm like, man, and I have diabetes, so I'm like, man, I can't even eat some of this stuff. So it's just like, man, but yes, a beautiful relationship between the doctors and the attorneys.
Beautiful. So have you guys ever had only if you're allowed to share it, have you guys had a situation where, it didn't go as planned, so your attorney did this whole case but didn't make nothing?
You know what? Not did a whole case, it didn't make anything, because we won't let it get that far to where we won't make anything.
It's still a business.
But yeah, so we kind of know okay, if this case is going to go far or not, just depending on if the insurance company accepts liability. But what I can tell you, just a crazy story, is that we got a case, and so we thought it was $1 million case. So an individual had a U-Haul truck, and so it was $1 million policy on the U-Haul truck. So it's like, man, it's a good case, $1 million policy. So he got rear-ended, and so everything's going good. He's treating, and then come to find out, we speak with the insurance company, and the insurance company says that they got video of our person that we represent has video with the driver who supposedly rear-ended him outside of the U-Haul. So it was a fraud claim. And plus, we threw a red flag. I mean, we were kind of kind of suspicious because it's like, who puts $1 million policy on a U-Haul truck?
Right.
But it's just kind of like, we want to give our clients the benefit of the doubt. We don't want to assume that they're liars as soon as they come in.
Right.
But we kind of were like, man, this one doesn't seem right. But hey, we gonna roll with it. But come to find out that it was fraud. Damn. And then I guess they were in some cult together too, with the insurance adjuster said.
Wow.
So it was crazy.
So my question is what happened after y'all found out?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, you have to pay? Did they pay?
Man, after that we dropped him, of course. And and then the medical providers that he went to, I'm pretty sure that they sent him bills.
Yeah.
So hey, you're going to have to pay for this treatment.
Oh yeah,
because
right.
It's just like, hey, it's like you knew this was fraud. On certain cases to where it's kind of like where it's like it's those cases to where it's like he say she say kind of accidents, like it's not like clear cut, and say like we don't get liability on those cases. the attorney will try not to have the client get charged anything, for the medical treatment because, hey, we weren't able to get liability. But but on the cases where it's like fraud or you trying to like jip us over or something like that, it's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna send you a lien. You're gonna have to pay some money back for sure. But yes.
Do like frauds happen often?
You know what? Nah, that was one of the only ones that I seen.
Okay.
But not very often. But my mom, she works for AAA insurance, and she used to tell me all the time, like, hey, watch out on the road because there are people out there who try to stage accidents. Like, they'll put you in a compromising position on the road to where you'll rear end somebody, and and they'll like tag team and try to make you rear end somebody because, man, I mean, some people, they make a living off of insurance claims.
Yeah.
But these insurance companies are kind of starting to get hip a little bit, and they are like seeing like, hey man, if this person has 5 claims in 5 years, like, hey, what's going on?
Something's not right.
Yeah, something's not right because nobody should be getting a car accident that frequent.
Right. That's interesting. It's funny you said that because it reminds me of. I can imagine the shock you felt about learning about people get away to live off of this, like how I live about the casino. It blew my mind to realize there are regulars that go to the casino every single day. And they gamble every single day, and that's how they pay their bills, is by gambling. I'm like, this is wild.
Yes,
but they do it though. Yeah. It's like they make it through. It's like how
exactly.
That's wild,
man. Because I swear to you, man, I'm bad luck. Like, man, I don't do nothing. Like, man, nothing at all, man. Yeah. I go and because I since being born and raised in Vegas, I was always taught like, man, stay away from the casino.
Stay away from it.
Yes, so it's just like, man. So I would just go in there and I would say, hey, you know what? I got $20. I'm gonna spend $20. That's my limit. If I lose this 20, then hey, it's what it is. Exactly. Yeah. So that's how I kind of gamble. But I never win though.
And so me, I have I learned that mine is mindset. If I go in there wanting to gamble, I lose.
Yeah.
I need to go in there to meet the family at the bowling alley, and I'm the first one here, and nobody's here. So while I'm waiting, I'm gonna go hit the dice table, and then that's when I'm fucking shooter. You know what I'm saying? They buy me drinks and shit. Like, okay, but
that's how I go.
But I'm like, I need to flip this 20. Hell no, I'm lost. I might as well go buy some gas or something, buy some candy because it ain't worth it.
Definitely.
So cool. So then some more of my questions for you is the goods and the bads. So like, what are some of the goods about being a case manager working for the law firm?
Some of the goods are just helping people through tough situations, because I mean, like you said at the beginning, honestly it's a tragedy, because I mean, some car accidents can just turn a family upside down because one, it's like their transportation. 2, it's like, man, they could be injured to where they can't work for a period of time. So just helping people through just the tragedies of car accidents, that's a plus. Also another plus is just seeing all, the fruits of your labor of, building up a case and seeing the end result of a client getting a big, getting a big return on, them going to treatment, like a big settlement, right. That's like our favorite part is when, we get that call like, hey, they offer policy limits, they tendered the policy, and we tell the clients, hey, you know what, man, we got you this amount of money. And but yeah, that's honestly
and you feel the gratefulness.
Exactly. Yeah, most clients, they are very grateful. When they get the settlements, and honestly, we tell them like, hey, although we helped you get this settlement, but you did the most important thing, like you went to treatment. Like, we can't do anything unless you go to treatment. Right. Because the insurance companies, the way they see it is if you don't go to treatment, then you must not be hurt. Because some people, they assume like, oh, well, they hit me, so they're gonna pay me out no matter what. It's like, no, they are gonna pay you out if you go to treatment.
Right, you gotta show proof that
you gotta show proof that you're actually hurt.
Right.
And so yes, so we let them know like, man, without you going to treatment, this isn't possible. But so we work hand in hand with the clients, and one thing that we try to do is build a good communication between us and the client to where they feel comfortable with talking to us about anything in regards to the case. Right. Because we want to keep that open line of communication.
And you already know, like, I fully feel that and agree with it, because you see me, I'll call you like, hey, Humberto, I just got this doctor appointment. He said this don't line up. Like, he'll be like, okay, I'm gonna call and figure it out then and get this lined up for you. Exactly. And I'm like, okay, bet. And I'll let Humberto handle it. And he'll call me back. All right, bro. So yep, I got this. Whoop, whoop, you good to go on Wednesday? And I'm like, all right, cool. Let's get it happening. Man.
Yes.
So I love it.
Nah, most definitely. I appreciate you going to treatment. So, man, yeah, we gonna get you that settlement. So,
yeah. I'm not even worried about it, bro. Trust me, I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just waiting for it to come.
Yes.
So, so we talked about the goods, like you said, helping people out and just knowing that you help people get their life back, low key.
Yes.
So what about like some of the bads that like you come out of it? Definitely, I'm sure like the day to day can be busy. You're on the phone all day. I'm sure you can get irritated at times, but you can't show it. Like,
yes.
How do you handle the bads?
Okay. So yeah, the bads is just man. It's just, it could be a stressful job sometimes because there is money on the line.
Yeah.
And it could be very stressful because it's like, you know what, you have to really be careful on how you build up cases because you don't want to build it up so much that the client isn't going to get back any money and the medical providers are getting all the money. It's really a strategic kind of way that we build up cases, so it could kind of be kind of stressful. But at the end of the day, I just try to think positive about it, and one thing I just think of is I just control what I can control.
Right.
And by just working my system, it's been working for me so far. For these 6 years. So I just keep on working my system, and the good thing is that, man, every case you learn something new. And that I can apply to another case. Like, hey, you know what? This happened on this case. You know what? I can apply it to this case, and just learning something new. So, yeah, but there isn't really too many bads. I mean, sometimes dealing with certain clients who just expect the world, and they, it's just like they just have unreasonable expectations on things. And honestly, I think sometimes they just hear it from other people, like, oh, well, you know what, I got this settlement, and it's just like, but every case is different. Like, hey, the person who's telling you they got a 100K settlement, well, the person who hit them had a higher policy than than this person that hit you. So it's just sometimes just managing people's expectation. Mr. Nwobe tells us is, never guarantee anything because there's no guarantees.
Right. Yeah.
So never guarantee a client, hey, you're gonna get them this settlement, this and that. We can do the best that we can for you.
Right.
But
I can understand that because like you said, the way social media, the world, TV, like you said, oh, I got hit. Cash me out, it's my money, I need it now. Like
exactly, JG Wentworth. 877 cash now.
And they thinking they about to get their cash now, and it's like, no, you have to do so much to get that, and
it takes a long time too.
And you have to show you need it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. And one thing that I do that just came to my attention that I wanted to let people know is, unless you absolutely need it. I mean, I know some people can be in some rough situations with these car accidents, but please don't take out those loans against your case, because these loan companies charge so much interest on those, and then like Donovan said, it could take a long time because you just never know. Certain cases can take a year, just depending on how large the policy limit is, how much you're going to treatment. So, and the way they build interest on these loans is, they build interest after a certain amount of days. So if you don't pay off the loan, hey, in 3 months, it goes to another percentage and you got to pay more. So then by the end of the case, it's like, man, you end up, you took a loan out for like, man, $5,000, you end up owing, $10,000 or something back. So it's just, unless you absolutely need it, like, please do not take loans against your case. Wow. You absolutely need the money to where, it's got to be something dire, honestly.
I didn't even know you can do that. So what you do, so how does that work? Like, you go into the bank and say, hey, I just got in a car accident, I'm expecting a big payment, give me a loan for 5Gs. Like, how does that work?
So not necessarily, you don't go into any banks, but so we have, there's loan companies out there that we can recommend you to. And so, we just let them, we recommend them to a loan company, and then what the loan company would do is they'll give us a call, and then we'll provide them all the case information, like, what the policy limits are, how much treatment they didn't had, things like that, and then they'll come up with an amount that they're comfortable enough to lend the client.
Okay.
So, but it's just, it's one of those loan companies that, they contact us, and then we will provide them with our client's information.
So then, being a case manager, do you have the right to be like, hey, I think you shouldn't do this? Like, they call me, say you want a loan, I think you shouldn't do this, or you have to 100% just respect what they do no matter what?
You know what? 100% respect what they do. Okay. Honestly, because these people, they're asking for these loans, so obviously they need them. More than likely, I really don't know, but
I can't judge,
it's just like, man, because I think that if I tell somebody, hey, you know what, this isn't a good idea, they may, come at me a certain way, but
liability.
yes, but you know what? like if it's a person that like I am comfortable with and I know like on a family level, like you, Adrian, if if you said, hey, I want to think about getting a loan, I would ask you, hey man, do you really need it? And then I would let you know, like, hey, this and that. But people I'm not comfortable on that level with, no, I don't want to tell them anything. Like I let them make their own decisions.
And I think that's exactly what you did, because for mine, I didn't have the rent-a-car policy on my case, and he was like, you can go get a rent-a-car, but I don't know how long this will take. Is there another car you can borrow? And I was like, I guess I'm going back to Elko. Right. But at the same time, I'm glad I did, because if I would have had a rent-a-car, who knows if I'm pricing a rent-a-car, I might as well bought the bitch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah.
Definitely. Especially, how long the property damage took, man.
How long it took,
like,
we just got to the point where they finally about to close.
Exactly, because it was 3 cars, so it was just like, man, it was just so many moving parts that these insurance companies, man, they don't pay out until they absolutely get everybody, all the details. And and these insurance companies, some of them, and they don't care. They will take their time. So, and that's one thing that I'll let clients know too. If you have the insurance, please go through your own insurance, because they'll work for you. If you go through an at-fault driver's insurance, when it comes to property damage, they will take their time in getting in providing you with a rental or just establishing liability, because an insurance company won't pay for anything until they accept liability and say, hey, you know what, my insured was 100% at fault for this accident. Gotcha. Now we can pay you or put you in a rental or pay you what your car is worth, things like that. But insurance company will not do anything until they accept liability. They take their time doing it.
So I have like 2 more questions for you, and then we'll get into the end game.
Okay.
So my first question would be so when I got in the car accident, they were like, call Humberto, he's a lawyer, he'll get you handled. And then it was like, don't talk to insurance companies. So I guess I'm just curious of like, why?
Okay, that's a good question. The reason why we tell you not to talk to insurance companies is because they record the calls. And sometimes they'll ask you certain questions that can kind of trip certain clients up if they don't know, what they're really saying. And they can kind of make it seem like, hey, was I at fault for the accident? Like, they'll just ask certain questions like, hey, were you how fast were you going? Or they'll try to make it seem like maybe you possibly played a hand in this car accident.
Right.
So we just tell clients please do not talk to the insurance company. Let us talk to them, because we know exactly what to say. And then they'll try to get your personal information, because there is a database out there to where if they get your date of birth, social, any kind of personal information, they can look and see if you've been in past car accidents, and then they can kind of see like, hey, this person's been in 3 car accidents, so maybe hey, there's something going on here. Right. So we do advise that please do not talk to the insurance company. Let us speak with the insurance company.
Got you. And then that's what I did. They called me and said, hey, I got a lawyer. Here's his number. You call them. You go from there.
Exactly. We'll send them a letter of representation that states, hey, you need to cease all calls. You do not contact our client. If you have any questions for our client, call us. We'll answer them for you.
And then is that for your insurance company as well as the other person's insurance? Like all insurance in general?
You know what? Yes. So it's for both insurance companies. But when it comes to your insurance company, they're more friendlier because they're on your side. They represent. Yeah, exactly. So we assist with it, but we don't technically represent you for it, but we can assist.
Gotcha.
But the at-fault driver's insurance, we
Stay
don't.
away.
No communication with them, because we don't want any kind of thing that will trip up the case.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
Yes.
And then another question, of part 2 for that. Do you always suggest people should get a lawyer after a car accident, or at what level do you suggest they should get a lawyer?
You know what? I believe they should get a lawyer after any car accident, just so you can get compensated, for your injuries and also for your inconvenience, for your pain and suffering. So I do believe yes, because some insurance companies, if they know they're not dealing with an attorney or a law firm, they'll try to lowball you on some offers. And I mean, perfect example, we had a situation to where this insurance company had a larger policy, so they tried to offer a client a certain amount of money that was way less than what the policy was worth. So they try to throw a number out there that oh man, that number, $7,000-8,000. Oh man, that's good. You know what I'm saying? But the policy's worth $250,000.
Oh,
so
God.
you know what I'm saying? So they try to throw that at you, and so we noticed that some insurance companies starting to try to do that. They're trying to, on the bigger policies, trying to throw these nice, people think oh man, 7,000, 10,000. Like, man, that's good. Like, okay, I'm gonna take that real quick, and but yeah.
Because if I bite on it,
way more.
Because if I bite on it and say, hell yeah, I'll take it, and it's recorded now, so now it's like case closed.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
So so we do advise you get in a car accident. Yeah, please get an attorney because they know how much your case is worth. They'll, we do an investigation. We'll see how much the person's policy is that hits you. We'll see, if you have extra coverage on your policy, and you'll get what the claim is actually worth.
Gotcha.
Instead of doing it yourself, and they can lowball you because a lot of people, they don't know like what the policy limits are and what policies that the at-fault driver with them have.
Got you. And then with everything he just said, I want to make sure I reinsure everybody. He is not an official attorney lawyer yet. He's a case manager working for an attorney. So he has the experience, but you can't come back and say, well, this attorney said this, because he's not an attorney. So I just want to make sure you throw that out there. Make sure you do our disclosures.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I got you. I ain't nobody in trouble out here.
Suing me, not
at all. So then one of my we're gonna go into the end game right now.
Okay.
So one of my first end game questions I always ask everybody is, how do you continue to educate yourself in the field that you're in? Because I'm pretty sure law is a constantly changing environment. So how do you continue to educate yourself?
Honestly, one thing is just experience, just going through other cases and just gaining experience from just working cases. Also, just on things that I don't know, I just type it in the internet and I read about certain laws. And third, I'll ask the attorney. And just, like my grandma used to always tell me, if you're not learning something every day, then there's something wrong. That means that you're not trying to learn anything. You should be learning something new every single day. So I'm constantly just trying to learn something, constantly just reading about the law, certain things. And that's how I expand my knowledge.
Beautiful. I love that. And I fully agree with that statement. You think we all had the same grandma. Yeah. I had the same mindset of, if you ain't learning something new every single day. Sure, I think your grandma used to do that. What you learned today? Or granddad used to do that. What you learned today? I'm like, man, you own me now, bro. I learned 3 + 3 today. Does that count? So then cool. So one of my next questions is you're on the Just Keep Swimming podcast. So we always ask our guests, where are you still swimming to? And when we say swimming to, we always understand that, life is full of goals. So you may hit this one island, but once you get to this island, there's a new island you want to swim to.
Yes.
So I guess I'm just curious on where are you currently swimming to?
Honestly, right now, my main objective right now is to just get past this LSAT and just getting into law school. Once I get into law school, then my next goal will be, try to get the best grades possible that I can in law school. Then from there, all right, it's time to study for the bar, pass the bar, and then after that, then it's like, okay, let me think about opening up my own law firm, starting my own business. So
I was gonna say, are you thinking about possibly going back to school after you're done with that too? Like maybe get a master's or something?
You know what? I was thinking about it, getting a master's as well, because having too much education is not a bad thing.
Right.
So yes, I can always get more education.
Okay, for sure.
I love that. And then my very last question, we asked all our guests. I should have texted this to you in the message, I forgot. But we always ask our guests to bring a quote to share for the end of the episode. I know you dropped many quotes throughout the episode.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, you already got it. Cool.
Okay. Yes, I got quotes. Like, honestly, may I read two?
Say again?
May I read
you
two
can read how many you want to, bro.
Okay. I keep these quotes in my wallet just to, when I'm going through a tough day, or I just want to read them just to keep me focused on what I need to do.
Beautiful.
One quote is, the only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 things I can control is my effort and my attitude towards my evolution.
I like the last one too.
Yeah, so I like the first one for sure. Can you explain the last one for me one time?
Yes, so the 2 things that I can't control is my effort and my attitude towards my evolution. And basically, it's just controlling the things that you can control. So, there's things that are going to happen that, it's out of my control, but I can control how I react to certain situations.
And also how you grow.
Yes, exactly. I can control those 2 things.
I can't control the rain, but I can control if I enjoy it or not.
Exactly.
I love
my
it.
attitude, yes.
And you already know that goes back to my favorite control. My favorite quote about control: I can only control my thoughts, actions, and reactions.
Exactly.
That's literally it. Besides that, everything's out of my control. So
exactly.
understand that and run with it. Man, that was deep, bro. So, Humberto, I appreciate you, bro. I was wondering if there are any shout-outs you want to throw out there. I'm going to shout the Nuove Law Group.
Yes, I definitely want to shout out the Nuove Law Group and the attorney Stephen Nuove. So if you ever, get in a car accident, please contact the Nuove Law Group. You can go on www.nuovelaw.com, or you can give us a call at 702-508-7243, and I believe it's 702-508-PAID.
Paid, yep.
Yes.
Paid.
That's hard.
Yes.
And then, again, you already know everything's going to be in the bio, so you can go ahead and scroll down to the bio. You can see the website, the phone number, and everything you need to do. So if you guys need to get in touch with Humberto, get your case solved, he got you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes. So, Humberto, man, I just want to say thank you so much for the time, bro. Thank you for coming out, man. It was great seeing your face again, bro.
Yes, great seeing you too. Great seeing both of you.
Yeah, we got to make sure we start doing this a lot more.
Yes,
so,
definitely,
man, I appreciate
man.
you, bro.
Fun.
It was cool, right?
Yes,
so,
man.
how's your nerves feel?
Man, I'm good now.
You're
like,
so
man,
relaxed,
I remember
bro.
you told me, you were like, man, you overthinking this. Man, I had a good time. I definitely want to be back.
So watching you, I watched your body language change.
Yes.
At first you was like this, and then toward by 20 minutes you was, man, woo, spitting facts, and you just having a conversation. So I love it, man. I told you.
Thank you.
Step outside your box, fam. I'm glad you did. Bro, appreciate you again for another great episode.
Of course, brother.
Yeah, thank you again for showing up and making it happen.
Sir.
Hope you guys enjoyed our live episodes that we've been having on YouTube. Make sure you guys go check them out at youtube.com/JKS Podcast. Nice and simple, can't forget that. You already know if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, reach out to us via email at justkeepswimming_podcast. JKS Podcast 702@gmail.com. I ain't said that in a while. If you have any questions for Humberto that you want us to send to him, we'll send them over to the email and we'll make sure he gets them. He can answer them for you. Even if it's some law questions that he can possibly assist you with, he got you. With all that being said, I hope you guys had a splendid evening, a marvelous afternoon, a great day, and remember to just keep swimming. Go ahead and say it.
Just keep swimming.
Yes,
Yes, sir.